Hello my friends, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do another bit of building on the Beetle convertible. Okay, so as you can see, since the last episode I put a few more bits and pieces onto the chassis. One thing I should have mentioned to you is when you build up this bracket with the C bracket and the 4mm star washer, as it says in the bottom there, when you build it up, do not put in that washer. You need to put in your 10mm machine thread screw, which is this one. Put in your 10mm machine thread screw, put it through the C bracket, put the 4mm star washer behind it. Then you want this upright bracket followed by the nylock nut. If you put the washer in, your steering upright will not turn. Let me show you what I mean. I use my stand, which is a roll of sellotape. Okay, so you need to have easy movement. This needs to move. If you put the washer in and then you put the steering upright in, it will be like that, but it will not turn. You need it to turn freely. Now as you can see, there's no washer on there, and there's no washer on there. In order for your steering to operate freely, you need to have no washer on the inside. It works the same for the nylon CW01 steering upright. You need it to move freely. You can put this one in if that's the one you've got, or you can put in the aluminium one. Okay, the only washer that needs to go in, which is this one, you need to put that at the top there. So the steering upright goes in, then the washer goes in, and I'll show you what I mean. Get the bolt. Move this over a bit. So there's your steering upright. You're going to put the bolt through. And what you'll need to do, you see there's quite a bit of play there. Bit of up and down movement. All you need to do is just put the washer in between the top of the steering upright and the inside of that C bracket. And then your steering will operate freely. Okay, before we do that, I'll show you the other bits that I've done. So I put these black arms in, top and bottom. In the book it tells you to use a 3x20mm step screw, which is this screw. Now I didn't have any step screws. This shaft is 4mm and that threaded part there is 3mm. So what I've done is I've come up with my own solution to put these bars in. So I've used a 20mm machine thread screw, hex head, and then I used, in order to make the step screw, I used another aerial cap. I cut the aerial cap to size, which is the width of this section, cut it to size, and then I put this inside the hole of that bracket. Inside that hole you've got one at the top, one at the bottom, and one on the right hand side, or that outer hole. Two inner holes and the outer hole. The hole inside this bracket, top and bottom, is 4mm, so you should be able to put that cut down bit of straw straight in there, put the bracket into the aluminium bracket, and then you can feed the bolt all the way through. And then on the back is a nylock nut. It tells you in the book how to do it. The only hole that is a 3mm hole is this radius arm at the bottom. So yes, the suspension does all work, front, both sides. Okay, I've also put in the steering servo. The holes that are in the top, like the upper and lower brackets. They are a 2mm machine thread. So I use one of these rubber grommets inside the openings for the steering servo, top and bottom, and then I put the 2mm screw through an M3 washer, through the rubber grommet, and then into the bracket. I've also added the brushed ESC. It sits there on the gold bracket and on the front of the H bracket underneath. Okay, now comes the difficult part. The wire for the switch is only 50mm in length. So because I'm going to have my body sitting on top of these battery compartments, and then the bonnet is going to go through the hole there, there's no point in me having the switch there to turn it on and off. So what my plan is to cut out this section of the switch bracket, file down this end and this end, and then slide this switch all the way through. Once it is in there, I can then tape the wires down. But the thing is, I want to use this switch. Therefore, if I put that switch in there like so, I want to be able to turn the lights on and off. So the headlights and the tail lights I want to be able to turn on and off, which then gives me like a second switch. Is I'll probably relocate this switch inside and I shall stick it there. That way when the body sits on the top of the battery covers there, I can still get to the switch to turn it on and off, and I can still get to the light switch to turn the lights on and off. Okay, now next up, built up the gearbox. The gearbox is built as per the Brat instructions, but with the Monster Beetle tells you it uses a 52 tooth counter gear. So if I was building up the Monster Beetle, you'd get this standard 52 tooth counter gear, and you'd build it all up with the differential and the spacers and the stuff, and you'd still build it up as normal. Now, that's a wire to charge up the battery. So I built it up as standard with this one, but what I'm going to do, I've used the 52 tooth counter gear, and I'm going to use the 16 tooth pinion. So this is the torque type for this gearbox. So this gearbox is built up as for the torque type. So in this gearbox I will put in a 25 turn torque tuned brushed motor. As you can see, I'm still quite a long way to go yet with the build. I'm waiting for a receiver to arrive through the post, so I can set the steering servo to central and then put the steering servo saver on. Yeah, there's something else I want to show you. I also put on the gearbox guard that you get with a Monster Beetle, but I put that on this gearbox. Let me show you what I mean with the body. So the body is going to sit something like that. So as you can see, I need to get to the light switch, but then I also need to get to the switch to turn the car on, turn the ESC on. So although I'm still quite a long way away from getting the body on and getting the interior in, that is roughly how I'm going to have it sitting. Once the wheels go on, as you can see, I've got quite a bit of the aluminium body post sticking through the top, but that will still give me enough time to possibly scour the internet and look for a smaller aluminium body mount for the front. Okay, that's going to be just a catch up for today. The steering servo saver that I'm going to use is going to be this aluminium, it's a 25 tooth spline for the inside, and the steering servo spline is a 25 tooth. So I can use the aluminium steering servo saver for it. This comes with the 2 springs. I've also noticed that when using this servo saver before, if you have a knock on the front, what happens is you lose one of these springs. So the only way to combat not losing the springs is to put a cable tie around it, and then that stops it. I mean, you're not going to see it anyway because it's underneath, like the housing and the casing for it. The holes inside there are M3, so I can then screw in a 5mm ball connector. Okay, that's just going to be a quick catch up for today, and hopefully when the receiver turns up, we'll stick that either here on this side or on this side, and then I'll set the steering servo to central, get the saver put on it, and have the steering operational. Okay, that's going to be it for today. Just a quick catch up, let you all know what's happening. Okay, thank you all ever so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Cheers for now.